Hey, I'm back, and hopefully I don't sound dead this time because I don't have pneumonia anymore. Anyway, real quick, if you like content like this, then please watch it all the way through so YouTube doesn't kill the video, and maybe give it a like. Thanks. So, I've heard a lot of different opinions on this topic. Zelda fans can't all agree on which game new players should start with. And while I've watched an unearthly amount of videos talking about which Fire Emblem game you should start with, I haven't really seen any videos about which Zelda game new players should start with. And I'm not sure if that's just because I haven't been looking, or if it's because there aren't a lot of them. So, in this video I'm going to be giving my thoughts on this, and I'm not going to be telling you should play one game, like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. I actually have 4 games I think work well as starting points to the series, for different kinds of players. So I hope you enjoy. This video is intended for anybody who's trying to get into the series but doesn't know where to start, or for anybody who has a friend or knows somebody who's trying to get in the series but doesn't know which game to recommend to them. Just remember, this isn't an all-encompassing video. You may not find a game that you like here, and that's totally fine. Which game you play first in the series is your choice. So don't feel like you have to listen to a video. This is just to give you some ideas, and hey, hopefully it'll help some people. Alright, first up we have A Link to the Past. If you have an SNES, or if you have the SNES collection from the Switch Online membership, then you can play A Link to the Past. At least I'm pretty sure. I know you can get it on the SNES, the online pass. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I recommend this one if you want to play like an older Zelda game. It's actually the 3rd one in the series. It's good because it will introduce you to a lot of the key concepts that carry over from the 2D games to the 3D games, including heart pieces, the Master Sword, magic, and even key items to some extent. It's also my favorite 2D Zelda game. So a little bit of bias there. Oh, and for some reason, Link's hair is pink. If you happen to have an N64 or a 3DS, then I would recommend you start with Ocarina of Time. This game is the first 3D game in the series. It is widely considered to be the best game in the series, and it's a great introduction in my opinion, if it's your first game. The graphics may leave something to be desired, but that's what the 3DS version is for, if you have that. Alright, if you need better graphics than Ocarina for the N64, Twilight Princess should be your go-to. You can play this one on the Wii, the GameCube, or the Wii U, although if you have an option, I'd recommend the Wii or the Wii U version. Just note that the Wii version is mirrored compared to the GameCube and Wii U, so the map, the world, everything, including the way Link holds his sword and shield, is mirrored. It's just flopped. So that's a little note if you're playing the Wii version. It's like Ocarina of Time in many aspects, but with more cutscenes. I've gotten over 45 hours into it and still haven't 100%ed it yet, so you don't need to worry about content. It's got a lot of dungeons, boss fights, and items, as well as some interesting characters. Oh, and this happened once for some reason. If you played the game, you'll know that's not supposed to happen. So, Twilight Princess is another good traditional Zelda game to start out the series with. Okay, we have now made it to the new generation of the Zelda series. If you think every game before this has bad graphics, is too small, or too linear, then Breath of the Wild is your game. Out of all the new games, Breath of the Wild is, in my opinion, the best starting point. It's hard if you've never played anything like it before, and it is much more combat focused than the games that come before it, but luckily it's still really simple at its core and only complicates itself when you want it to. Story-wise, it's no Twilight Princess. Its story is good in my opinion, but it's told in a less hands-on way. It's a lot more environmental storytelling, and it's not like Twilight Princess where you're getting a cutscene thrown in your face every 10 minutes. So it's nice if you didn't like that aspect of Twilight Princess. If you plan to play Tears of the Kingdom, you have to play Breath of the Wild first. Not only do its mechanics strongly resemble Tears of the Kingdom's, or maybe it's the other way around, its story also comes before Tears of the Kingdom's. Fun fact about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is that since Breath of the Wild was originally released on the Wii U, one of the key items in the game, the Sheikah Slate, was made to look like the Wii U gamepad. But most people play it on the Switch, and they don't get the reference. Tears of the Kingdom, however, is native to the Switch, so the Sheikah Slate in Tears of the Kingdom was renamed and rebranded. It's now called the Purapad, but it looks like a Nintendo Switch. And just something interesting that you might not have known. Alright, now, Breath of the Wild has DLC. This adds a whole new main quest line, a lot of armor, including one piece that makes monsters all but ignore you, most of them anyway, and has a whole harder difficulty setting called Master Mode. I would say this: buy the game and beat it, and see if you like it. If you do, and you want to either 100% the game, want more main story content, or just more of a challenge, you should get the DLC. It's only like $20 or something, which is definitely worth it for the game's worth of story and added content you get with it. You can play Breath of the Wild on the Wii U or the Switch, although I'd recommend the Switch, since it has better graphics overall, and also runs better. And you can also get the DLC because the Wii U eShop has been closed down. I don't even know if you could get the DLC on the Wii U. Not sure about that. Anyway, whatever you have, it's still Breath of the Wild. It'll still be great. So, in conclusion, those were the 4 games I think make good starting points in the series, depending on who you are. Alright, let's go over a quick recap. A Link to the Past. If you plan to play all the old games or just want a good idea of how the rest of the series works, this is the game for you. Ocarina of Time. If you want a 3D game, a highly rated game, or a game with a water temple. Twilight Princess. If you think Ocarina of Time's graphics are too 64-bit, or if you want more gameplay or cutscenes, or double claw shots. Don't worry, this game still has a water temple. Breath of the Wild. If you want a new Zelda experience, or an open world game, or just a ton of stuff to do and things to kill, including many varieties of pigs from small to 6XL, then this is the game you'll want to start out with. You really can't go wrong with this one, and it'll keep you occupied for hours and hours, no matter who you are. Alright, those are my thoughts. I hope this video was helpful, or entertaining if you understood some of the references. Which game do you think new players should start their Zelda journey with? Leave a comment below. Okay, yeah, I'm just remembering Echoes of Wisdom is coming out in like 2 months too or something. 2, 3, something like that. And I don't think people should start with that one. If you're just getting the series, you probably shouldn't play Echoes of Wisdom. You could do, what is that? Link's Awakening? Yeah, but probably not a good idea to start with Echoes of Wisdom. It seems like something, like a third or fourth game. But who knows? Maybe it's going to be a perfect intro to the series. Only time will tell.